Hey, now it's Dan Aberhart here, president of Aberhart Ag Solutions, and I'm here with Nicole Doobie, the manager of Aberhart Ag Solutions. And today we want to talk to you about the Convergence Conference. It's happening in February at the Doubletree in Regina, Saskatchewan. Our question to you is, have you seen and heard enough to make a decision? And if not, Nicole, why should folks join us?
Oh, Dan, if you do not have anything in your schedule for February 6th to 9th, keep it open or lock it down. Convergence Conference is one-of-a-kind event. We have an elite lineup of speakers that is just going to fill you with so much knowledge. The events, wellness, all of it is just, I can feel the energy just sitting here.
I'm going to one-up you, Nicole, and say, if you even have a pre-planned holiday to go somewhere warm, cancel it, because you can't get this kind of networking, learning, growth where you're going. I know you can get Mai Tais and, sit by the swimming pool, but still, what's better?
I mean, Black Fox Distillery, they're going to be there.
Award-winning gin.
I would take that over a Mai Tai. Local?
Well, that's how we're getting started on the Tuesday night. Maybe we should give folks a little bit of a rundown on what the event's going to look like, what to expect, why we're excited to have them, and then we can talk about some of the speakers. I know everybody's always interested in the agenda, and talk about some of the sponsorship that's making this possible, because we don't have an event like this without incredible amount of work and resources and capital and people behind it. And my brother Terry Aberhart and Warren Bills from Convergence Growth are behind this conference, are the folks that have decided to put this platform on, and all these wonderful folks that have jumped in to make it possible. It's pretty cool. So before we get into the agenda and the nuts and bolts and the speakers and stuff, let's just talk a little bit about the why of this conference. And you've been pretty involved in the planning. Why do you think Terry and Warren decided to put this event on, Nicole?
When we talked with Warren and Terry, they identified there was a gap in the market for folks of the industry to come together and share knowledge, network, get together, talk about new tech, talk about wellness and health. There was such a gap and a need and a longing. And so they took it upon themselves to jump into action. And now here we are coming together with this incredible event that encompasses all of those features into one thing.
Yeah. And to tell you a little bit more about that background too, Terry and Warren are involved with a peer group of agronomists. That's sort of a brain trust of lots of the folks that used to be involved with Agritrend. Of course, Agritrend used to have the Farm Forum. So I would say this is a little bit of a rebirth, a little bit of a tribute, a little bit of a reimagining and of all that. And so the peer group's going to be meeting in advance of this conference. Aberhart Ag Solutions is also going to be putting on a very special event, exclusive VIP event called Ask the Check Writers. We're going to introduce some new products and practices and talk about the business we're in. That's on Tuesday, and then we'll get into the liquid mixer. But I just wanted to say, for folks that are wondering if they should be coming and whether they would fit this crowd, and whether, we bounce around these words like elite and progressive. I think the important thing for me is that people recognize mindset's a metric, Nicole. So if you want to grow and learn, whatever stage you're at, it's not about how many acres you have, what part of the ag business you're in, whether you see yourself fitting in. Trust me, everybody that's going to be there is going to be highly willing to share their knowledge with folks that want to learn. And we know statistically, scientifically, I study statistics and I study science a lot in my spare time. Who you surround yourself with makes all the difference. So that's why we want you to come, whatever level you're at, whatever your jam is, whatever, you're working on. If you want to learn, come along.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So Nicole, I've got my ticket on Eventbrite. I'm all set up. I walk in. It's February 6th, Doubletree in Regina. It's Tuesday night at the Pattison Liquid Mixer. What can I expect?
Ooh, you can expect some good energy, some solid networking. We've got Barb and John from Black Fox Distillery. They will be having their gin there. And night one is just all about hearing their story, getting together with the rest of the industry, networking, and getting excited for Wednesday, the 7th.
This is world renowned, award-winning gin and spirits. But it's not just that. It's not just hard alcohol, although hard alcohol on its own, has its own merits. But let's be real. This conference is a lot about entrepreneurship, their story of how they grew their business, and also how maybe thinking beyond the box of primary production is a lot of what this conference is about. So I think that's going to set the tone really well.
Absolutely. So once we get through Tuesday night and all the excitement and the fun and the wonderful gin, we're jumping into Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is when things get exciting.
Yeah. We're going to be walking on hot coals first thing in the morning, like Tony Robbins style, just to
Potentially.
break open our mindsets.
We might. There's a possibility.
Barefoot, by the way, no farmer rubber boots.
Yeah, no shoes to this conference. Bare feet only. No, we're going to kick it off with a bang. We're going to have a good, hearty breakfast. We're going to jump in. Dan is the MC, in case he hasn't mentioned that.
Yeah.
That's worth a ticket alone.
Give me the mic. Just
Oh,
give me the
yeah.
mic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to jump right into Trace Genomics. They're going to kick us off.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I talked to Craig Davidson from Taurus, and Taurus is a big part of making this event happen as well as a major sponsor. So this Trace Genomics promises to unlock the key of what's in the soil. How is the biology reacting to the different practices and products we're using? So I'm really excited to hear about that new technology.
Yeah, it sounds pretty incredible. We have a wonderful lineup of speakers. We're going to kickstart the day with that, open our minds, talk about the soil. I mean, what better thing to talk about than soil health?
Soil health, pretty foundational.
Absolutely. Once we get through that, we're jumping into a wellness break. And you thought you were going to sit all day? Not a chance.
Well, I think that's an interesting element of this conference that's getting baked into the cake, is that it's not just about primary food production. It's about our physical and our mental wellness, as well as our financial wellness. Of course, we all want to get rich in our endeavors, but how are we rich? Are we rich in our health? I think that's going to be multiple touch points in the conference on that very thing, because Convergence is all about the integration of food production, not just primary, but secondary and tertiary, but also right up to that consumer level of health and wellness. So be prepared to think about that, experience that. There's some goat yoga, cat yoga, whatever your preference is, your jam there. Do you prefer cats or goats in yoga personally?
Personally, I've never done goats with yoga, so I mean, I'm open to it.
So you have done cats.
So you know what? No, but Terry Warren, if you're listening, let's think about this.
The queen of stray cats here in Virgin Manitoba.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny.
Once we get through this incredible wellness break that may or may not include goat yoga, we are jumping in to a
Pardon
break.
the pun.
We are jumping in with Mike Dolinsky from Taurus. We're going to have a couple breakout sessions.
I'm excited about Mike. I've seen Mike speak, and he keeps moving expertise. Like he keeps learning as he goes. And one of the things he's really into is how nutrients affect wellness in people as well. So I'm sure we're going to get lots of agronomy, but I know by his interests that we're going to have some of that. How does that relate to our personal health? And I know from the fact that he gave my mother this book, Better Brain, which my mother gave to me, which I haven't read yet, but I plan to. That what's in our food affects our brains, affects how we perform, which I expect you to perform really well at work. So it's kind of a requirement that you get the proper nutrients for your noggin.
Fair.
Right? When you come to work, you need the proper nutrients for your noggin.
Lots of protein.
So I think Mike's talk is going to be really interesting. I think he's going to touch on lots of cool stuff, and he's always somebody you want to hear in the ag industry. So that's going to be awesome.
He's a fantastic speaker. I've heard Mike speak at a couple field days, and he is smooth. He is so smooth. The knowledge he shares it's awesome.
Did you hear that, Mike? You're a smooth operator.
Smooth operator. So then we are going to jump in with Kelly Dobson.
Yeah.
And we've actually had the pleasure of working with Kelly in our company.
We have had the pleasure of working with Kelly. I know he's done a lot of work in the leadership sphere in ag at various levels, but he has personally coached and mentored a number of our staff, including myself, and getting to know the parts of yourself, the angry part, the frustrated part, the
pleasers, the judgers.
Yeah. But it's, when we're working in family companies, like I'm in a family company, a lot of the farms that we're working with are family companies. Knowing your parts, figuring out that leadership part, knowing how to communicate, this is huge. And, like Robert Angelic said, who's also going to be at the seminar that we just had a very popular podcast with, do not underestimate human nature. And even though, we're working with tractors and combines and plants and soils and stuff like that. A lot of it's about our personal relationships in the business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Kelly's going to be killer. I know he's got some wicked psychological technology we're going to unleash on the masses. Unleash on the masses.
Get ready to flex your brain muscle. You will be feeling it. Once we finish with Kelly, we're going to jump into lunch. The food is not going to disappoint. Again, that's probably worth a ticket alone. You're going to want to hit these buffets.
Yeah, it's probably the worst value of the ticket in the food alone. So it's a steal of a deal.
Easy. And then we're going to jump in with Evan Show, farmer coach.
Yeah, Evan, we've had on the podcast. We've done webinars with him, and he has been the CFO of the farm for a number of years. And this guy has an incredible mindset when it comes to accepting the realities of farming. I think that, we're going through some really interesting, challenging times in agriculture. As always, 2024 is not going to disappoint in that regard. And being prepared, being realistic, taking a hard look at your numbers, knowing your numbers. Evan's going to bring the thunder when it comes to mindset, so I'm really looking forward to that.
And again, Evan is an incredible speaker. If you haven't heard Evan speak, smooth, just like Mike. You don't want to miss it. So once we...
Smoothness is a bit of a theme for you here.
Smooth is the theme. Well, I mean, everybody likes it.
Am I going to be a smooth host?
Talker.
Could you say that?
Potentially,
would you say, hopefully. I'll be smooth.
I'll
work on it
expect
for
some
the mirror.
dancing.
Yeah, okay. Smooth dancing as well as smooth talking.
Correct.
Sounds like a great Saturday night to me.
Then we're jumping in with Elston. A long time personal
Sun
fave.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Sun over mountain. Yeah. Elston Solberg. I mean, so Elston's incredible. There's nobody who simplifies complex things in an industry like Elston. He's just a veritable well of knowledge, 3-4 decades in research and agronomy and coaching and making funny jokes and wearing flashy shirts and having funny slides that he prepares just before he goes on. But I mean, 13 rules, is that enough? I feel like it should be 133, but I mean, you can only write one novel at a time. Let's be real. This
is true. Should we place bets on which outfit he's going to wear?
Yeah, I can see all kinds of conglomerations right now, but I think he's unpredictable as well as smooth.
True.
There's a couple of adjectives we could throw around there for
this is
ambitious.
Fair. Once we are done with Elston, we're jumping into the startup scramble. So a couple breakout sessions where we're going to focus again on food, ingredients, and financials, teams, livelihood. And once we finish that startup scramble, another wellness break.
I think it's really cool to have that element of startup, and I know for sure that Dark Horse is going to be participating, and those guys are really onto something. I think it's a whole theme of the ecosystem. I mean, you look at Convergence Growth, which is itself an accelerator, Growing the Future podcast. Part of the Abrahart family of companies, we feature a lot of startups. I think new technology is also a theme. We've been heavily involved with the PIC project at different levels with Abrahart Farms and Sure Growth and all that, with Precision AI, who's also, a big part of the conference. So startups, new technology, precision agriculture is a big part of it. And let's face it, I mean, Terry's farm and Terry's company Convergence, a big theme is physically applying that to real world results, right? So this is where it really does converge is, hopefully this whole ecosystem is helping startups match with producers that can reap the benefits for production for, a happier, healthier, less hungry world.
That sounds incredible.
Wow. I'm overwhelmed right now. I wish I could be there right now, Nicole.
Oh.
Not that I'm not enjoying this interview, but.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So after our wellness break on the topic of PIC project, we're going to be hearing from Lucent Bio.
Love it. I think what's interesting is the JV with AGT, where there's this full circular economy. We experience that in our business too with Biosol, but with Lucent, they've done a wonderful thing, and they're taking, I don't know if you want to call it byproducts, but it's maybe products of lesser value, like the lentil and pea and oat hulls, and they're reconstituting it and matching it, merging it with nutrients at slow release as the biome in the soil consumes that. So anyways, 12-second pitch for Lucent there. But what's cool is, they made this partnership with a food company. And so they were back to the theme of vertical integration, that I think the theme is going to, I think it's going to have a lot of utility for whatever level you're at to kind of help see the other side. Like one of the things that I noticed going to a place like San Francisco World Ag Tech Conference a couple of years back was there's so many folks with great inventions and patents and ideas, but you realize there's not a farmer in the room. So that's where I'm really hoping we can see a lot of, nice mix of farmers in the room, industry people that want to connect with those producers, people that are value adding. And I just think the Lucent AGT story is an incredible story right here at home, homegrown.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Murad Al-Khatib, who is a world entrepreneur, and AGT Foods doing billions of dollars in business. Now they're involved with the fertility in the production, primary production of those foods again. It's a beautiful story for Saskatchewan. So I think folks are going to be excited to hear about that.
It really is. They've had a big year, and I'm excited to see what they bring forward to the conference. When we finish with Lucent and the team there, we're actually going to jump into a breakout with Cultivator.
Oh, man. Yeah, startup heaven. What they're doing, the infrastructure they're building for startups to get to the market, it's been really exciting. And I know Terry and I have been involved on the mentorship level and involved with lots of the companies that are part of that. But, it fascinates me for any producer who wants to be, somewhere between bleeding edge and cutting edge, looking at all the companies that are up and coming from all around the world in the cultivator. It's not just local, is really good. And those companies need help. Our very event we're calling, in advance of the conference, we're calling it Ask the Check Writer for a reason. Because I truly believe all these companies should be asking the check writer, asking the check writer, asking the check writer. Hence, Convergence Conference as a platform.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Bringing all of these pieces together.
I think it's important.
We're going to see something so fantastic.
Yeah.
When we finish up with Cultivator, we're jumping in with Brady from CoFit. We're going to get a little active.
Okay. Yeah. What are we going to be doing with Brady from Crow?
She is going to be leading a Teams and Livelihood breakout section. So
she
might have a little workout for us.
Yeah.
Bring your gym shoes. Get ready.
I'm ready to stretch my boundaries with what's her name?
Brady.
It's one person on this conference I don't know, so cut me some slack. But I'm interested to meet her.
I went to her Instagram.
You went to her Instagram?
I did.
I have not yet.
She seems like she's got some really good, workout stretches. She's going to keep us on our toes.
I'm going to put that in my HubSpot tasks to check out Brady on Instagram.
All right. Let's do it.
Send me a reminder in 3 days if I don't get to it, please, Nicole.
When Brady gets us working up a sweat, we're done, we're cooling down, we are going to hear from Ben Graham from Ad
Oh my
Farm.
God. What a legend. We were at the CAM Awards in Winnipeg. The guy got the Lifetime Awards.
It was incredible.
And he's a farmer and he's a storyteller and he's been a huge supporter, Ben and Ad Farm of this whole event. And we have the pleasure of working with Ad Farm on the GFL Ag account in marketing. And so I just really enjoy Ben on so many levels. And he's going to bring a lot to the conference in terms of, we talk about it all the time, telling our story. But it's super important because people got to know what we do. People got to support what we do. People got to allow us to do what we do. Not to raise my voice there. I don't want to yell. A little bit of aggression there.
Is serious.
But what if people don't allow us to do what we do and, the lights go dark and the fridge is empty and you're uncomfortable? What if? Think about that, Nicole.
It's scary.
We got to be
terrifying.
able to produce food and energy from the soil.
And I will be wearing my Ad Farm socks.
What? You have Ad Farm socks?
You have Ad Farm socks too.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas.
Oh, we will have our beans out for Ben. All right.
I have not. I didn't see that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, I'm going to one up that next year. I think we need Eberhard Egg underwear.
underwear.
Undergarments in the case of women. I don't want to be.
Wow. We're going to be the new Calvin Klein.
I can't wait.
I know you can. When we
Just call me Danny Klein. I can do it. Sears catalog pose.
All right, we're looking for models for 2025.
Yeah.
When
are looking for
when
models.
we get through brand creation stories and brand awards and awareness with Ben, we're gonna jump into Bring the Joy Hour. So a little bit of a pre-elixir to the event, banquet, and cocktails.
I'm so excited to talk to Jess Jansen.
Ooh.
I hear she's magical and just will be highly inspiring. I just bought her book. She's got great inspirational personal stories to tell. And I mean, every time it comes up, Warren just keeps saying like, "Oh, you have no idea what's about to go down." So I'm
true.
anticipation on my part is high, like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like, 9 in point something decimal thing.
I'm very excited to hear Jess. I've heard incredible things. And like you said, Warren keeps saying, if you think you've heard it, wait till you hear Jess.
He just looks out the window and kind of gets a little smile on there. So it's going to be wonderful.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And once Jess wraps up, we're going to have some closing remarks. And 9 o'clock, we're going to wind down.
Yeah. 9 o'clock, I'm going to be in bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I can get up at 4 or 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is a full day on Wednesday.
There might be others that stay up, but hey, that's your business.
Not ours.
I'm into beauty sleep.
Because you know why? When we wake up Thursday, we've got
I
another
know.
incredible day.
We got to go. Yeah.
We're rolling. We're in
It's not
action.
just like one evening and then one day. It's one evening, one day, and then another day.
It's incredible.
Basically, they throw in like Thursday, I guess it is. It's just thrown in. It's just on top. It's just cherry on the cake.
So Thursday is where we get into that yoga.
Yeah.
We're starting off bright and early, 7 a.m., yawns and yoga.
Who's brave enough to actually do this? I'm going to go.
don't know. I hope-
I do love yoga. I love hot yoga. Dated a yoga instructor. I sport yoga. Yeah, I think it's great. And if you've never stretched before, I encourage you to try it.
It's a good start. We're going to loosen up, get our minds ready, get in the right spot. Once we finish up some yoga, we're going to head out for some breakfast. Again, the food, unbelievable. Get your ticket. It's worth it. And then we're jumping into something really fun and exciting. We're going to jump into the Young Farmers panel.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah, here there's a young fella from Lindgren Farms, Jackson, that's going to be on that. I understand Holden's going to be on that. I'm also going to be on the just kidding. I'm not a farmer, and I'm actually not that young. But and maybe there'll be a couple more people. I mean, everything we're talking about here is formative. It's
Subject
a little
to
bit
change.
a little bit flexible or whatever.
Yeah.
We're just trying to wet your whistle, wet your appetite towards the conference here. But yeah, I think that's so cool. I know Holden's been part of the podcast, and just to hear from his perspective and really, farming is a lot about succession. It's about working with the different generations. I know for Terry, he's got the honor and privilege of working with, I gave it the Jordan Peterson eye roll there, the joy and privilege of working with my father and his family. So that's all good. I'm glad it's him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's so important that we keep these young guys engaged and active and bring them into things like these and present them with these opportunities.
Young
like
guys
this.
and girls.
And girls. The young generation, the young farmers.
Yeah, because actually on our farm, there's a couple girls, Sarah and Aislinn, that have been involved with the farm and the agronomy business to various capacities as well. So yeah, we really want to have a super safe, welcoming, warm place for women in the industry as well. I think that's a huge part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, this event is encompassing everyone, all ages, everyone.
Both sexes.
Absolutely. We do not discriminate.
Pat on the back.
This is going to be a good blooper reel.
Oh dear.
The crowd is going to be asking for more. When we finish up with the Young Farmers panel, we're going to jump into something, and I think this one's pretty special for you, Robert Angelic.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, no, it's been incredible. So yeah, I had the good fortune of having Robert Angelic on the podcast, and the reception's been incredible. People have been really receptive to hear what Robert's had to say, and his story really is incredible.
It is.
And my encouragement to anybody is, in my experience with Robert, he's incredibly willing to share a lot of information. Now, of course, he's not going to give away his actual formula for which he toiled, by faint light in the basement, for, a couple decades to figure out all this stuff and make these predictions. But the reality is he works so closely with his tenants. He advocates for for farmers in Western Canada by going to Toronto, trying to explain the situation. He can see huge trends coming. He's one of those guys, I mean, he's very willing to share his knowledge, and people have been really excited to hear what he has to say. And his story is so incredible. I was really proud to tell it on the podcast, and I'm not sure if it'll be me interviewing him or somebody else in the fireside chat. But, you know, if you're coming to this conference, you got a chance to, you know, shake the hand of the man who's Canada's largest farmland owner. But I think that's just, you know, a title that doesn't really do it justice, because he's had multiple fortunes, came from nothing. You know, his mother secreted him and his siblings across the border of a communist country to come here in the 50s and start with nothing. So, I mean, if nothing else, that story tells you, and his message is, anyone can do it. If you come to the Convergence Conference, if you don't come to the Convergence Conference, you're not going to do it. I'm not going to go there, but it's not a binary 1-0. But it's not going to hurt to come to the Convergence Conference, and certainly going to help. And, you know, you can make the kind of relationships and connections where you can, you know, meet folks that are the top of their game in the business, and you can, you know, maintain that connection over time. Because my experience with Robert is, I mean, since we did the podcast, we've been in communication, and he's been sharing information back and forth. I want to see that for everybody, for all the experts mingling at this conference. Come and get to know the best in the business.
Incredible networking. Build your Rolodex.
Yeah.
You're not going to regret it. So when we hear Robert's incredible story, and if you kind of want a little bit of a precursor to check out and learn a bit more, go listen to his episodes on Growing the Future podcast. That will get you fired up.
Very nice shameless plug by Padawan.
Just doing my job. Just doing my job. So once we hear Robert's story, we're going to jump into another wellness break. And then I know.
Wellness is on the rise.
Oh my God. 2024, taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself, take care of your land, take care of your soil.
Take care of others.
Take care of others. It's a theme.
Take care of humanity.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing.
We're jumping in to Jarrett Chambers of ATP.
JC. Yeah, he's been a great partner for products and practices on the farm. He's was on our advisory board for Eberhard Ag, and I'm telling you, he's been on the podcast, and there's a guy who's wicked smart and also been really successful in business. Like, we think of ATP, you know, 60-some products, and, you know, it really had a huge impact on inputs in agriculture. But this guy's also a fantastic entrepreneur.
Major.
Yeah. So he's always got a lot of wisdom, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Jarrett there and hearing Jarrett and shaking hands with Jarrett, laughing with Jarrett, having a drink with Jarrett, you know, waving at Jarrett when I see him in the crowd kind of thing. Secret handshake with Jarrett, high fives with Jarrett. Just a lot of stuff with Jarrett. I'm really looking forward to Jarrett.
Jarrett brings the energy. Jarrett also brings the most incredible ATP swag.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, everything is itemized. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of ink somewhere there. None of my business. Not going to ask. Don't want to look if it's offered, but I'm sure there's some sort of ATP branding there, done by some tattoo artist in a foreign country. Hopefully everything was sanitized. But I mean, if he doesn't have ink, I'd be surprised. I mean, it's his shoes, his socks, his, you know, 80s sweatband.
The man is on brand.
Yeah.
Always.
Live it. Breathe it. Way to go, Jared.
We congratulate you for that.
You're an inspiration.
Maybe we should partner for our underwear line.
I think...
You want to go solo?
I think we'd have to really look at that really closely, because, you know, then you get into all kinds of splitting of hairs, you know, front or back, top or bottom. I mean, I can't.
All right. Pause on that, Jarrett. We'll revisit in a couple years. When we get through Jarrett's breakout session, we are jumping in.
We're dumping. What are we dumping? Where are we going with that?
Dumping.
No. Okay, blooper reel.
Take two. When we finish with Jarrett's incredible growing agronomy breakout session, we are jumping in with Darren Shoresbury of 33.7.
I looked at that. That's really incredible. So I think this is, I could be mistaken here, but I think this is a connection that Terry had made through Strategic Coach, which, you know, he does that a lot, or, you know, is very fortunate to meet a lot of great people in Strategic Coach. These people are focused on 10xing wealth for those that are worth between $1 million and 30 million or whatever. So for me, if I, in the next 5, 10, 20 years, if I can work towards $1 million, I know that these people can help me 10x it. But it's a lot about taxes and a lot about like positioning financially. And man, you want to work with Jedi on that front to protect your wealth. As you know, there's a lot of wealth in the agriculture community. That's let's be real. How do you steward that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where do you start?
I hope this gets done for the sake of my inheritance.
It's true.
Non-farm sibling inheritance. This is a big concern
It's a real thing.
in the 2020s.
It is.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I mean, I'm
Ooh.
going to talk to everybody at Christmas about that a bit.
Watch out, A-Part family. So once we finish up with Darren, we got another wellness break after that.
I love the wellness breaks.
Oh,
keep
my
adding
God.
up. Yeah,
We're going to be in top tier shape.
I think it's
mentally,
adding years to
physically.
people's lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So once we get through that little stretch,
Mm-hmm.
we're jumping in with Dean Klippenstein.
Oh, this is so cool. It's actually Klippenstein, but
Take two. Once we are done with that wellness break, we're jumping in with Dean Klippenstein of MNP.
this is so cool. And I don't know if I can give too much away, but you know, Dean's instrumental in helping to build this agronomy firm, which is, you know, going to be a model of the future where it's like a law firm or an accounting firm. And it's kind of been Dean's dream. But I mean, Dean's just an institution in the industry as far as accounting goes. He's really good with numbers, you know, really good with accounting, you know, different sides of the ledger, balance sheets, P&Ls, you know, all that stuff.
We need those people.
No, but he's an outside the box thinker for accounting. And there again, I mean, if you're a farmer, if you're somebody who's in the industry, glad hand with that guy and get to know that guy and make that connection.
You want him in your black book.
That's true. I like how you said that.
So once we get through the MNP, the power of information ag tech, we're jumping into lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing better than more food.
Yeah, I like lunch.
And once we get that good food in our belly and we're ready and we're rocking and we're rolling for the afternoon,
Yeah.
Rob's sake.
Oh man, just an institution. And to be fair, I mean, a lot of what we've done as Aberharts has been under the influence, not of alcohol, but of Rob's sake.
It has
Sometimes
not been under the influence of Black Fox
You're under
gin.
the influence of alcohol with Rob's sake. If you ever seen his beer commercials, he's an alcohol advocate within reason. But no, what I meant to say is that Rob has been really instrumental in this growth mindset that Terry's adopted over the years. That's helped grow the farm to where it is today. That helped start the agronomy business absolutely via Agritrend. That's helped, you know, the expansionary thinking via the strategic coach tools that he brought. And that's how we first got involved with strategic coach, which is a big part of why we're here today, still alive and kicking and sort of, you know, breaking even in the businesses. Mm-hmm. But Rob's a huge influence. He's a huge advocate for agriculture. He's always an incredible world-class speaker, TED Talk speaker. And I'm really looking forward to his message at Convergence Conference. And really, I mean, you know, these folks did an incredible job at Farm Forum. I don't know if you were there back in the day, though, to be fair. I don't know if you ever done Farm Forum.
It's before my time.
Yeah. Well, your time is now. And this, to me, this Convergence Conference is an ode to greatness. That was. But it's also the next generation of senior coaches and agronomists and great events. So I'm excited to hear Rob there.
Absolutely. And when Rob is wrapping up the day, so Rob's going to wrap the day up. We're going to head into the closing remarks for the conference, the key takeaways, what next year's going to look like, bigger, better, bolder. And we're wrapping it up. And we should be out by 3:00 on Thursday.
I can't imagine coming down from that high. I mean, I'm going to need some medication just to reduce the adrenaline. Like, I'm going to need to, I'm
We're
not
going to
sure.
have to take all of the pieces that we learn in the wellness breaks and apply that to bring ourselves down from the
I'm going to need to leave the doors on the hangar open to cool those jets.
Watch out.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know
amazing.
about you, but those sound like two really incredible days.
Have you heard it?
Have you heard
You
enough?
have a hernia? Come to the wellness clinic. Have you heard and seen enough to make a decision yet? Because if you haven't, I don't know what else we can do. I mean, Nicole, I feel like we gave it our all today.
It is all laid out right there for you folks. If you have any more questions or concerns, hit up our MC.
Oh, that's me. I'm here. I'm here for you. See you in February at the Convergence Conference, February 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Doubletree Inn in Regina.
But
Oh, I
Let's
missed my
not
high five to
forget.
you.
Let's not forget. We cannot make this happen without our sponsors.
Okay. That's true. That's awkward. I think I don't want it to happen without our sponsors. We need our sponsors. Absolutely.
These are the big deal.
Give me the sponsors.
All right. We've got Pattison Liquid Systems. We have AgVisor Pro, Taurus, Black Fox Distillery, Ad Farm, Aberhart Ag Solutions, Aberhart Farms, SureGrow Solutions, Precision AI, 33.7, Producer's Edge, MNP, 4R Agronomy. These are huge names. Scotia Bank.
Thunder.
Whoa. We're bringing the heat, and we couldn't have done this without these companies.
Absolutely. No, the fact that these folks stepped up, they believe in an event that's never happened before, right? Like they're voting with their dollars and their time and their presence to be here to support this initiative for everybody. Like it's incredible. So thank you to all the sponsors. I know that Warren and Terry were a little, white knuckled going down that part of the roller coaster.
It's hard. It's
when you start a
scary.
new event, right? But these people have at least brought down the blood pressure of Warren and Terry, which is important too on the wellness front.
Absolutely. And that, folks, that's Convergence Conference 2024.